meaning to a single sentence or phrase. So these are common elements of my style. Um, I will read from child first, and I think everybody knows this book already. So I don't have to hold it up or make a spiel. I'll get right into it. What you may not know is the photograph on the front, well, the whole cover is a little girl and boy. They're on the street in Lima. And I chose this photograph because there are so many children all over who are on the street that we don't hear about very often. But in Lima, it seems to be a particular issue. And the age of the children, sometimes they're only 6 years old. So I wanted to call attention to that. And the first poem is called Lima Street. We dance, trance, shake from missing food, water, a few things like time. We didn't have time to prepare for the new world. There was no time to prepare Mama for what comes after. We dance, trance, scan our new landscape, different from village ways, missing a few things. We continue choiceless vocations with missing strings from the charango guitar, taken while we dreamt of Mama and the moon with Christ inside to save us. We dance, trance, work days on end, surviving on air and missing a few things. We protect the dancer and send the police and spirit thieves to the next town over by cagey rumors and clinical powers of observation. We know Mama is watching. We dance, trance, far from our original scars with Mama. We miss Mama, even though we mostly just remember her hair and our house missing a few things. We, unaware of a path, unasked what we wanted to be when we grew up. Not even Mama. We just grew up.
Mm.
Thank you so much. The next poem is called Sleep on It. This was inspired by a book called Nickel and Dimed, and it was written by a reporter who she left her job for a while to actually to see if you could live on minimum wage. And then she reported it and wrote a best-selling book about it because you cannot. But her experiences are very interesting. I should sleep on it immediately when I come home, but I don't. Sitting cross-legged on the mat, I enjoy the lingering smoke smell from the other bodies. 7, I make 8. I make 8.25 an hour. Yesterday, there were 9. Sharing is necessary for a dream. 8 mats cover the floor of the room every night. I think of my dream every night. At home, it is called the American dream. The agent said that all the time. He kept his promise about the dishwashing. The job, my hands are burned. They offered me gloves today. At home, they would offer me hospital. I never see light completely in this room. The mats remind me of women at home, my sister, the dress she would wear with flowers and smoke smell. I work again in 7 hours. The mats support my dream. Tomorrow it will be a different one, still smoke smell. Rotation is necessary for a dream. The agent said this all the time. He kept his promise.
Wow. Nice.
So the next one is called For the Children of Ukraine. So this is a new one. When you think of them, pretend you are holding them. Pretend they are safe and chatting at your table, eating cookies and telling you about their mom and their country. When the cookies are finished and the chatting is finished, pretend you are resting and they are sleeping next to you in your bed, dreaming of fields they used to freely play in, and stretch out their hands to little yellow skies with flowers attached, waving as they tried to catch them. Your resting becomes a meditation, a way to continue holding the children safely in your mind. You transport them to new fields where their friends are waiting for them, singing and holding hands. Your meditation becomes a prayer for the little ones who can no longer wait, who can't find mom and cross the border alone. When you get up, look in the mirror, ask yourself, what would you do if this was your war, your child crossing the border alone? Hold yourself, hold your hands to your face to catch the tears. Hold on to the fact that even though pretending is not real, you're caring, your spirit, your thoughts are real and have traveled to help someone else.
Very nice.
Let me see.
Okay, shut my door.
This is called Lightning and might be included in, submitted for inclusion in an anthology coming up about gun out of control, especially among kids. So it is definitely a huge concern. This is called Lightning. I started to think of other people deciding if I miss them or not. I am not afraid of death. I only worry for my neighbors because of consumption. They are consumed with the idea of possibly leaving this street too early at the hands of a gruesome deed. Freak lightning or a child just playing like he saw on TV. Pow, pow. Commercials, just playing with his father's gun he found, unlocked, pow, pow, spurred on by the lightning and the TV and the lightning and the whole scene, everybody running, everybody driving new hatchback cars, silver to deliver the silver business, and the roses sweet deliver the roses to people on their way to the fifth, sixth, seventh car when he dreamt of a real bed and a refrigerator what keeps the light on so you can see if it's a mouse that ran over your feet or something else, and the lightning, and now the everybody whole crying scene, the atmosphere of excitement and cereal for dinner again. Oh my God. The lightning, and now the everybody whole crying scene, the atmosphere, the lightning snapped its long, tender fingers at the sound of the bullet, keeping up, keeping time, and the bullet chose a wall at the neighbor's house to rest this evening, upset everybody this time as uninvited, yes, as rude, yes, but tired. The bullet was a tired guest. Can you imagine? That's how it looked at it, having dealt with unwanted force and lightning and a child now in trouble with the law and a new temporary home. Oh my God. Looking at the bullet, people were looking as fear rose in them. as lightning rose above them, repeatedly snapping its fingers and shouting a little now. Discussions of death prevailed at the neighbors. Thank you. I will read from Heart, and I don't think I've actually read this one before at a mic, but anyway, it's called Someone Flicked the Lights. I had the feeling you wanted to say something vital to me yesterday, something uncommon and eventful, but someone flicked the lights in the kitchen, which illuminated us, our red-cheeked togetherness, now an apparent fact. And then someone called at the door, which further interrupted your attempt. And then someone's washing stopped, which turned out to be mine, further complicating the timing of things. And then the clock, oh goodness, the hand of the clock moved and caused a startling at first, then familiar noise. And you had to go, carrying a sheepish look and a still red face. And I had to follow, leaving the washing wet and speaking a reluctant goodbye and carrying that day's possibly postponed opportunity and the remains of a feeling that you really wanted to say something necessary to me yesterday, something orbital and surrounding that might cause planets and the energy between us to align a little differently, and our language could possibly expand to use new words like heartbeat, and the timing of things would cooperate, so it really wouldn't matter much about the washing or who flicked the lights. And oh goodness, this idea that you really did have something so important to say to me yesterday has been sitting on my mind. And if it's true, please, please try again today. Oh, see, Jasmine. The next one is called Heart Matters. When does a set of symptoms become recognizable? When you stand in the middle of a room and kiss his pillow in place of his lips, holding it until there is difficulty of breath. When his lips seem to still be there, the touch reassuring you of tomorrow. When do the set of symptoms create uncertainty? When you remember his suits are at the cleaners, well, possibly still at the cleaners, and you remember the suit he was buried in was the suit he was married in, and wonder if he ever read that little note you put in his pocket. He didn't say, he didn't have time to say. When are the set of symptoms considered a serious concern? When you keep buying his favorite marmalade, but you don't even like marmalade, and there's no more room on a second shelf in the fridge, but the color is pretty, and you have a blouse that shades. When does a concern become an issue? When you sort of know what day it is, but don't mind if it's not. When things that were virtually vitally important yesterday seem silly today, whatever day today is. When does an issue become quantifiable? When the pillow you were holding, his pillow, is wet with tears you hadn't noticed, and there is no more room in the fridge at all for marmalade. When the calendar on the fridge falls to the floor, revealing the note you thought you had put in his pocket but never did. It said, I love you more than life itself. When you try to put on the marmalade colored blouse, his favorite, but it's too small and fragile and it tears almost to the touch. When you finally find the courage to call the cleaners, and the suits have all been sold 3 years ago for a good price. When difficulty of breath is an extremely frequent occurrence, and the word daily leaves you, becoming vague moments, hazy, but enough for you to still feel his lips reassuring you of tomorrow.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yes.
This,
As June finds her next,
what was that?
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you to June for showing up and being amazing feature. I know you have more pieces. I just wanted to give you a shout out. We met during one of the virtual open mics on one of these Mondays, and you have been a strong supporter. And I'm just so appreciative to be able to learn from you. The way that you just give things life. My God, you're a teacher, but besides being a poet. And it's an honor to have you on this platform to share your poetry and to share your gifts. So thank you for being this feature. If you guys can take your mics off mute and give it up for June, because she is doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for coming on to support her.
Thank you, Rayanne. Thank you so much. I am honored to be here, and thank you for having this platform.
Yes, yes, you are the first feature that we've had with a light up necklace. So you're still breaking records.
Ooh, we're making history. Okay.
Yay.
Well, get ready for a little noise. This is called The Friend Next Door. Ooh, I scream in a circle. My mouth takes the shape of the sound to further reiterate that I want to be heard seriously, not brushed over like a piece of decoupage, carelessly placed because you really didn't want to do the project anyway. Ah, comes out louder over the music when you stand next to me, but not really with me, at a party holding champagne, openly surveying your prey. I am a friend of convenience. Next door window you helped me paint. You helped me with other things when the evening came at my request several times. Yeah, I scream, releasing months of shuttered, button down, partially finished soliloquies I want to say to you. I memorized for you at my window, living next to you, conveniently as just a friend of convenience, but not convenient right now. There's a taxi here waiting for your bags and fresh shoes and your trip to see someone new with excitement, expectation, and maybes. You turn, kiss, kiss, great trip, take my mail, I will. In the doorway with personal cocktails, scornfully highlighted brownies, and a posh frock I got on sale. No notice of my envy conveyed her with legs and breasts of courage, courage to say her own soliloquy out loud at a party, spontaneously, and get results. Yeah, I scream alone in the doorway until you return to practice me. This scream, more an expression of puzzlement at myself. Why? And a push to get this heaviness away from my stomach onto the pavement where the neighbors can trudge it for me without knowing they've helped me make it through another day, saved me from throwing up undigested nonsense and self-pity. A new scream. My mouth is closed. No one can hear this one very much. The sound leaves my lips in a straight line, like a dog leash being pulled by the dog, not the master. I feel calm, actually, concentrated on the line itself, following with intent to finish my soliloquy, whether it's convenient for you to return and stand next to me at a party or not.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like that one?
I liked all of them. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so quiet. My daughter is with me. She's first day out of school, so she's a treat. Is what she is. So I'm not wanting to disturb anybody, but it's all been really good for me.
Well,
All been really great.
thank you, Mimi. I'm going to read from South. South was my surprise baby because I was working on the love poems first, but I was doing some ancestry.com work and things started to go into a different direction. So I let them. And I'm very glad I did. And all three books eventually will be continued and turn into bigger collections. South is first. And so the project that I'm actually working on now is called Clouds and Laundry. It still has a Southern emphasis, but there will be more elements of nature and environmental concerns mixed with, my focus is always humanity. I can't help it, human interest. So somehow we have to get all three in there. So this poem is called Selma. And in doing a little research about Selma, things took place there that took a lot of jobs from the state of Alabama. So the next two poems are about work. I do not want to bother the Lord with all my requests. So I categorize, prioritize what I can handle myself and what I really need him for. Lord, I need you to let me in. Let me in so I can understand. I want to understand there I can upper hand. Paper trail, docs, signing, document signing. I want to watch from the other side. I don't want to watch from the other side anymore. I want to be in, whining just a bit, Lord. I know just a bit. I am still grateful I can walk, Lord, and still grateful I can talk. But I ponder my often blunders, even more wonder on their seemingly so easy ways. Let me in, Lord, please. Find a way. Let me in so I can learn their double earn. It can always be my turn. I still pay my dues, Lord, and try not to bother you with things I can handle myself. But last time I was caught for nothing and trialed for something I knew nothing of. It was like being tied to a position on railway tracks. For true, Lord, I was tried, I was tied to and white lied to, uncovered mouth, the words just slipped out with casualness, the casualness of an unexpected lollipop offered by a soldier from the other side, trying to learn, ascertain our secrets. How do you do what you do, pretty girl? Their way so refined, shined, so boss, and all will see, could see, can see, do see, but I don't see. I still don't see how to get in. I still don't get the raise. It's the praise, just the patronizing staff room praise, and the lies, the white lies from uncovered mouths, giving lollipops or the coffee with a muffin attached. There is always a muffin attached. They want us to fit in, Lord, and I truly hate to bother you. But the time before last, I was asked to unlearn what I already knew. Would you do that, Lord? Would you? Please, Lord, it's a priority. I have tried to handle this myself, and I know I'm whining just a bit, Lord, just a bit, but please, I need you to get me in. Let me in so I can understand. I want the I can upper hand. I can no longer watch from the other side. Please, Lord, let me in, and I won't bother you again.
That one sounds just like me.
Ooh, yes.
All day. I'm just like, Lord, do you
Mhm. Think we have all been there. Woo! Hi, Nick. All right. This next one is called The Caregiver Will Be Late. It is a personal favorite. Lester, practicing dance moves at the bus stop, missed the number 49. He would be late and she would be anxious and secretly cross for trying not to show. The vibe, the bliss took control. Cheers from the crowd encouraged him. He continued dancing. Sandy had reasons for things. She called them becauses. Often they were included casually in many of her spoken sentences. She had convinced herself that the piles of papers and mess about her apartment existed because she was an interesting person. It was difficult to find needed things at needed moments, so the quality of late was her normal, which created worry and hurry for her. Sandy was usually a little worried and a lot hurried, but able to get others to their appointments on time, early. She could be on time, early for others, which was a miracle, but not today. Today, Sandy would be late, and she would be secretly cross, but not able to fully express herself. Anthony awoke at 5 a.m., rising at 7 a.m., so he could think. This gave him enough time to think about getting up, being up, the essence of up. Anthony concerned himself with very serious things like up and the placement of credit cards in his wallet, Costco before license for convenience. The process of being up and constantly reviewing card placement in his wallet could be extensive, time consuming, and possibly make him late. Today was one of those days. He was going to be late, and she would be anxious and secretly cross, but not able to fully express it. Luann began to speak with a British accent on a regular basis, thinking she would get more respect and more clients. Incessantly practicing over and over, our Luann speaking with a British accent, regularly speaking with a new accent for respect. It was really for the respect she wanted. She was thinking she would get more clients and more respect, so she practiced over and over. Our Luann in the mirror, in the hallway, practice, practice. She had to cover her other accent, the original accent from Macon, Georgia, and somehow make up for the fact that her assignments were guided by her sister-in-law. So she practiced to see if this would help. And sometimes she was late. Like today, she would be late. So carried with the practice. It started because of the knives. She found knives under the client's pillow, carving knives, and no one believed her. So now she practices to focus and relieve the shock, which sometimes makes her late, like today. Our Luann is going to be late, and she, her only client, will be anxious and secretly cross for trying not to show it, and hopefully knifeless. Maria had decided to be tired. She did not share this decision with anyone because she was a private person. Not even her daughter knew the depth of her daily inner aches, the pauses, the hesitations, and general fatigue that she carried. There was a darkness about her eyes and carelessness of manner. Maria always having thoughts on her mind of another place, different from where she was at the time, very different, committed to her dreams. Her poverty was not allowed to disrupt or interrupt her dreams. And so when she hit that car in Starbucks parking lot, she left a note saying, sorry, had to go to the hospital. She could not try to find the person, otherwise she would be late for daycare and then late for the client, and the client would be anxious and secretly cross, but not fully able to express herself. This was unacceptable to Maria. Lester was still at the bus stop. The next number 49 had broken down. He would probably be fired for being so late. She would be openly cross by facial scenario, but still not able to fully express herself.
Wow.
Mhm.
How are we doing on time?
You are good on
Mimi,
time,
we're
June.
okay?
You are doing well on time. We got like
Amazing.
22 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I think I have read this one before on the platform, but let's do it again. Some people haven't heard it. This poem is called Hunted. It was inspired by two things. One, some phrases out of a book by Willa Cather, and which made me think of a bird, which kind of made me think of Patti LaBelle's Night Birds, which made me think of going out. And then it made me think of all the people who kind of go out in unsafe situations and they're missing or not treated fairly or something happens to them. So in this case, something happened. The quote is, blood dripping slowly from its mouth, live color burning, its extraordinary plumage. She cried in rumpled distress, by Willa Cather. She lost one of her earrings while running, shoes long gone, a feather stuck to her lipstick the boa borrowed. She would have to replace it. She felt confident in stopping for just a few minutes to catch her breath. She had minutes to catch her breath. It was tapping out night beats, fast, fast, so fast. It was not a time for music. The skin of her legs could feel cool air through the holes in her stockings, what was left of them. She got away. Keep saying it, I'm alive. Keep going, she got away. Before the adrenaline was replaced with reality, and then tears, and then where are my keys? And then shaking, the shaking of shock and rage, and then convulsions, and then how dare he? And then tears mixed with mascara, and then, oh my wig, and then, oh my God, and then breathing changed to a waltz tempo slower, or a hospital intercom, intermittent nonsense, and then sting became a sensation from cuts opened and unnoticed till now, and then blood spilled onto the lame dress from her lips, and then sirens, and then where's my bag? And then, oh my God, and then crunching, crumbling to the sidewalk, and then tears mixed with grime, pebbles, and a false eyelash. Where's the other one? And then uncontrollable sobbing, and then pain, pain in the direction of her head, she thinks, and then indistinguishable sound, kind of loud, oh my God, and then another, oh my God, and then tears mixed with blood, dirt, pebbles, and mascara, and then a bird pecks at her feet, and then another bird steals 2 feathers from what's left of the boa and hops away, and then a radio playing Night Birds by Patti LaBelle somewhere. Oh my God, this is not a time for old school. And then her breathing changed again. And then the sidewalk felt wet. And then, where's my shoes? And then a hand was on her shoulder.
Whoa.
The imagery.
If we're done.
This one is called I Have to Untie the Ropes. She asked me about my pronouns while I was trying to get something to eat. I had to think for a moment. We live in moments. The rest of our lives are in the fall, between seasons of crumbling color, changing as we speak about pronouns and McDonald's. It reminds me of my situation as a whole and who I am here to please. I have to untie the ropes that identify thought, open up even further, pull them apart, untwist, reduce the knots to strands, lay them out, lay out the threads of density so they're free to breathe in sunlight. Children take everything like that personally. A crushed flower can be upsetting. I am like that. Arriving into peace when I walk and imagine I see pine needles creating forest carpets to cover the small buzzing of survival in a raw existence. I am talented. I am good at waiting for water. I am hungry from the smell of a rhythm I can share. For the smell of a rhythm I can share. Maybe vibrate to, follow like a guru on a train who is sure of where he is supposed to be. Even though his eyes are closed. I slept on a train last night, last car. I'm not sure about particulars. I prefer open-ended details that connect with basic human qualities, like the ability to escape energetic intrusion. These intrusions create fractionated pieces and uncertainty that can go on for days, change form, and cause inaccurate memoirs right before they go to print. To play it safe is an issue as well, especially when it rains, and the swell of this rain brings you back from a frivolous journey, like a search of candy corn or yogurt balls. I have no particular pronouns. My name is easy to pronounce. I am hungry all the time.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
We're all hungry. Okay. I'll give you a choice by title. Junk in the Car or Future Diary or the Hysterics of a Murderer.
I vote junk in the car.
Junk in the Car.
I vote for that too. Junk in the car.
Oh yeah. I see Chris has a thumbs up. Okay, we'll go for Junk in the Car. This opens with a paraphrased quote from Baudelaire, borrowed some of it and then expanded on it. It was actually inspired by a neighbor who unfortunately was taken away. And before he was taken away, I had actually had a look in his car and realized that our attitude towards people who need help probably could use a little work. And this person must have been in a lot of pain. Slowly, the land is rolled into a gentle fire that soon retreats to the edges, lit as if from underneath by mystery and oncoming explosion. This is a picture of inherited sadness, of doubted shadows, of reality hiding under old newspapers edited with empty food cans, of a ritual privately worshipped in little pieces, of a little car that only starts when it rains. This is a picture of dendrited confusion, of motion sickness from learned backseat behavior, of cloudy glasses that never see daylight, of collected ideas, coveted and unused, hoarded like the memory of a new lover who leaves before the romance even begins. This is a picture of pain, of a parasite constant with motorized hunger, of a go-to leave of absence clearly repeated in various time zones and timetables, of a spirit dancer weary from confrontation. This is a picture of a conversation about cruelty, of an outstretched hand that wasn't there, of boardrooms and meetings with robotic protocols and documents printed on blurs and half-truths, of help some, not others, of 3 a.m. prayers to mother who couldn't answer. This is a picture of suspicion and self-protection, strangling a body, of a one ventricle heart with air moving only one way, of metallic bitterness in the mouth, of a brokenness automatically chewed all day until tasteless, of dirty vehicles as shields from thirsty, energetic vampires with long fingers. This is a picture of zigzagged traveling that got you here, of driving with yourself, sitting next to yourself, the other you underneath the saved rubble of unfiled paperwork and unwashed clothes, of unearthed birthday gifts appearing as pottery from a dig so inappropriate for your station right now. What is this? Your place right now, but they stay in the rubble, they stay. This is a picture of clinging to all the other pictures without remorse or conscious knowledge, of no breakthrough, of no aha moments by a rolling ocean or a blazing fire, no available weed killer for the brave delicates that come up through the sidewalk and survive. Like you, they survive. You survive the slow, molten death that gurgles and lives inside. Of unadulterated loneliness, rambling through purgatory, of no seamless high school reunions, no reasons, no excuses, no love.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know why, but I can relate. The poem was very relatable.
I'm glad. That is good. I'm looking
Right.
for
Unadulterated loneliness roaming through purgatory.
yeah,
And the what was it? The molten was molten something.
molten. Yes. Okay. Oh, here's what I want to read. Okay. This one is called I Imagine. Even though it's what you know, why would you come to find me? Many times a day, I imagine you standing on the other side of the door, about to crumble with your half-empty satchel, the old one I imagine you still carry. I imagine you to feel you would have to come to save me, to keep me from crumbling, to help me pack my satchel, the new one I bought in case of running, in case I needed to run in the away direction. I imagine you have been in that direction, empty and broken in half. I imagine that you imagine you left the pieces here. Even though it's what you know, I imagine I will not open the door to your return. I will not help collect your broken pieces that awkwardly lay next to mine. Thank you. This one is called I Am Not What You Expected. My flowers arrive as a morning silhouette in a bright window, a backdrop for a group of concentrated forms. The window is the backdrop. I am the one searching the whizzing scenery added to the backdrop with my thoughts. My thoughts are barraged with internal commentary about more than just flowers. My thoughts are playing out into reasonable sentences about you and why, how I am not what you expected. Expected is a chocolate chip category term, and this has become somewhat difficult for me because my different is really different, like the other side of the sun that we rarely experience in nakedness or otherwise. I can show you me without tears or performances. I can show you where my miracles are, put away in a box in my closet. My closet is empty compared to your sister's. I have plenty of room for new perception. I include you in this. I have plenty of room for you in any scenario. That part is not difficult. It's not difficult for me to hold your commitment to expansion. I like your new suit. I like your new job. And its rhetorical ideas that you bring to me at dinner. At dinner, they comfort me. I'm used to it. At dinner, we encourage each other to smile at our plates as a way to accompany the nourishment. The nourishment is swallowed quickly to make room for the local noise. And other miracles we'll discuss at another time. I feel I ate better when I knew nothing. When I knew nothing, it was not so difficult. There was nothing to get used to.
That was beautiful, June.
Thank you.
You every time I hear you, it's like I'm there.
That's good
It's
to
like I'm
hear.
this it's like I'm this metaphorical person.
Yes, putting you in the place. Good. That's very, very nice of you to say. Let me see now. We'll do future diary. I couldn't quite decide what title to give this, so it has two titles: Future Diary or The Hysterics of a Murderer. Today is December the 7th, 2021. That's actually when I wrote it. The first week of December is gone permanently. I have thrown something away permanently that I didn't need. I mean, I couldn't see myself pulling it out ever again for use. So today is a finalization for that thing that I thought for 20 years might be useful as a unique element in, say, a flower arrangement or a quirky retro photograph. But I won't save it because I save ideas in a notebook and I can come up with an altogether something else to create retro flower arrangements another way, right? So my father's birthday is tomorrow, December 8th. I celebrate it for him since he's not here permanently. He painted flowers you could smell. The imagery was alive from across the room. He died at 5 on an evening without a son. I was the only one there to witness the regret, the veteran's flag, the gun show salute set to music, the small parade, a charade to console the hysterics of the murderer, to hide the guilt of the murderer feeding him Chuck E. Cheese with a Coumadin chaser. When the cock crows 3 times, the lipstick will be on the handkerchief. When the cock crows 3 times again, the mascara will be a black stream on a black face, trickling into a second handkerchief. The day after that is December 9th, a Memorial Day to process the mental photographs of the day before and the questions that invariably announce whole acres of unexplored, unexplained circumstances glaring now from dirty upstairs windows. Empty boxes and bags of clothes in the same spare room, his room, packed up for Goodwill drop-off, a little too early. December 10th is another day for finalization of something I will have to part with. I'm not there yet, but I imagine it will be less difficult because of experience. The decision will still be permanent. On December 11th, I will decide if much of my personal belongings were purchased in advance for a future life that hasn't come yet. I will answer the long evaded questions of where did the handkerchiefs at the burial come from, and what shade of lipstick is popular with murderers. December 12th will be a day of continuing intentional choices mixed with reckoning. I have a salad to return to Whole Foods and a Goodwill or Target run after. The purging of other items has been helpful and almost permanent. I will probably have my father on my mind and his unrecognized talent. I believe this is why I hang on to my notebook, in the hopes that one day my retro flower arrangements and photos will be appreciated as a thing, carefully hung, exhibited, requested, lauded, permanently, someplace fine. So I have 3 little short poems that were supposed to go with some artwork that I could not get together. So maybe one day they will. The theme was pieces, or like fractionated pieces, I believe, something like that. So the poetry part, that came up right away, but what to go with it did not. Anyway, something will happen with them soon. Part 1. When I come in touch with parts of myself, often, somehow, maybe, somehow they seem to be separate from me. My heart center, I feel this, and I question this as possibly coming from somewhere else, someplace else, someone else's self that I picked up while traveling and investigating, taking photos of the souls of birds, hoping their souls would reflect my own, and I could finally learn how to fly. Part 2. When I come in touch with parts of you, yourself seems distant, more like an other I don't recognize unless you have a cup of coffee in your hand. I encourage you to be free of this coffee, this overstimulation, and choose a poem to drink each morning, or a hand to hold for shared strength and pleasant walks in the dark. Part 3. When I come in touch with parts of us, we, they say, them, throws them hands up in the air to catch the panic, catch the vibration of the rave, bumping. We are bumping them, us, into each other with the same situations over and over and over, no solution. some discussion that is not the same thing again and again and again, we fall apart right before each other, crying on our knees on the sidewalk as some of us, stop to look for the hat to put the money in and keep going. Some of us tap the shoulder and say, they're there. One of us puts down the bag and lifts us up. All of us sharing a sidewalk square for some time, staring into eyes that know a deep compassion for us, as human, as a deepness carried with urgency for our feeble world. Are you getting tired?
I feel like I'm at like theater.
We still have time for anybody else to read? Everyone here
Yes,
is
yes, we do.
everyone is a poet.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's start the list off with Finn, and then we have Ryan. If anyone else would like to read, drop your name in the chat, and we'll create the list.
Oh, is June done already?
Well, I wanted to make sure if other people want to read that there's time. You don't have to worry.
I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, if we're finishing up, to have the lingering effect of your poetry be the last thing that we hear, I wouldn't mind at all. Unless somebody else wants to.
I really didn't come prepared to read. I came prepared to listen.
To listen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to you, June.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. I will read a poem from South. We'll read the opening poem, which is also a favorite. This is called Lemonade and Remembered Innocence. She wore a cotton dress of lemonade when I saw her. I remembered the lemonade stand we used to have, and the cotton dress she wore then blew up a little when the breeze came through. Rustled pink she was then, pink and fresh and young and happy not to be getting hit that day. I remember her endless giggles that way in particular, and from then on, they were a bit less as we got older. As we got older, she liked green next. We still drank lemonade, but she wore a green dress with the back buttons that I could reach. As the stream washed our feet, touching, we laughed at how hot it was, and I wished so bad I could take the sadness from behind her eyes and get her to tell me how she really liked to eat her pancakes with syrup or something else. She never told. When I saw her last, it was cloudy. I remember there was a funeral, I think. She was gray, her face and dress as one picture, depending on one another to stay up. So much pressure, cloud pressure, about to give way to a storm that would cover her innocence taken. The sadness in front of her eyes now in full view, walking before her, pulling out a faint smile and handshake, quickly leaving me stranded in a puzzled abandonment, asking why I never saved her, why I never asked again about the pancake.
Wow.
The next one is also in South. This is a fun one. It's called Yellow, Yellow Cornbread. It came up because well, when I first started writing, I was working with colors and emotions and how they affect one another. And this particular day, I was thinking about yellow, which led me to The Yellow House by Van Gogh. And then I remembered that we actually had a yellow kitchen, a big yellow table when I was growing up. And I said, well, I can't use a yellow house because that belongs to Van Gogh. So we'll have to think of something else. And then I realized I hadn't had any cornbread in ages. So here we go. From the near window in my far kitchen, light trips over my plate's plate to illuminate the beauteous beauty of my past remembered yellow, yellow cornbread. From the mix box mix, you know, that little jiffy mix at the dollar store, now come to life. When I eat the first bite of my yellow, yellow cornbread from the mix box mix, I feel like my left brain and right brain have made a hemispherical truce and decided to work as one brain's brain. The zen of egg and oil floats for an instant on my tongue and satiates my taste buds with joy, real joy. When I eat the next bite of my yellow, yellow cornbread from the mix box mix at the dollar store, sensational thought waves of warmth, and world pieces come into my inner vision's vision. And I know I am loved and carefully cared for. The alchemy of flour and salt transport me to powdery, beachy beaches, being kissed by restless sea waves with space enough for the whole human family's family and me. The sacred third bite of my yellow, yellow cornbread from the mix box mix brings sacrifice and desire, addicted now to the simplicity of the yellow in my mouth. Assurance fast fades upon learning that this is the last. The chemistry provided by the milky milk has allowed for the ingredients to perform well, so well. Applied melted butter only improves the smooth, perfect yellow. Color and texture collide to produce a flavored miracle. I think I need another slice. Whew.
That's awesome.
Thank you, June.
Oh,
you.
you are most welcome. Shall we go for something serious, something fun, light, heavy? Let me see.
Well, Ryan says all of it.
All of it.
Well, I'm just checking with Rayanne. So the time is now 11:11.
Mhm.
Are we good to go on more poems, Rayanne, or what are we doing?
She's not there.
What'd she
I
say?
think we're good to go on more poems. I didn't hear her say anything. It's usually over by 11. So I'm very new to hosting, you guys, as you guys can tell. Um
You're doing
so
fine to me.
okay,
Um,
good.
yes. Give me a minute. There's one in particular I want to grab.
Okie dokie. Thanks so much. I don't want to rush. We're usually done by 11:30. If you all don't mind, everybody that's here tonight, I would love to hear more of June. I think she's a beautiful poet, and she's one of my favorites here in this modern time. So I could listen to her all night.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
could. So
I agree with
How
that
that way
too.
I can tip the feature. She's doing an amazing job. And of course, technology is like just giving me a hard time tonight.
oh great, oh great. We love technology.
Right? I'm gonna figure it out though. Awesome.
Shout out to Jill for more than an hour straight of stellar poems. Absolutely. Absolutely. And,
Truly.
and even more than that, and even more than in just in the hour long, it's more so she painted a picture with every story she told. Like she warned us there at the beginning. She said it would be all descriptive and the imagery. And then I mean I've never it was an amazing show. It was definitely a treat for me.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Okay. Let me see. I will read. I will read In the Other Room. I hear her crying in the other room. Shall I open the door, disturbing her waters? Would she notice me? If I sat in the Macintosh chair, tall as the wall is long, hiding my sympathy, curious of the circumstances, would she mind if I noticed her face was red, with floral beauty underneath her deliberate sadness? I want to know, why is she upset? I want to know her and tell her there is no expectation. I would not say, don't cry, there. I would say, here is my shoulder, take it. For the any day you wish. I would not even use the word need. Indeed, in case the strength of the word carried darkness for her. No, in case the list of wants and hurts in her lap seemed woesome to the point of embarrassment, with the sensation of sinking. I still hear her. I can see her exhaustion, almost fainting to the floor. Such energy it takes to expel monsters from your spirit stream. I feel to go in. I feel to open the door. I will go in, sit in that tall chair, and wait.
And wait. Okay.
Yeah, just wait for her.
Huh.
The
You
next
make it
one,
sound so easy.
the next one started as a prompt, actually, from a writing class, and then I played with it and continued it. So the lesson was to use the phrase either I could or I could not. And you could repeat it any way you wanted to. So this is what came up. I could say. I could not say that her cruelty left me bewildered, chilled, speechless as a pastor in an empty church, needlessly counting Bibles to pass the time. I searched for reasons a narcissist or anyone needed behavior such as this. I found more questions within myself attached to decrepit images Staring at an empty window, I stare at length because I could not say. I could not answer the lies flowing like dirty water from a broken septic tank, carelessly spewing residue thick enough to sink in. Visible half-empty cartons swimming in the photograph of sepia muck. I sink when near her because I cannot answer. I could say sorry. I could be the one to smooth it out, press gilded words into unlikely shapes, to create something like shared art, like I always do. But today, because the sky is kingdom rich, so blue, and the sun is mighty, I choose not to. I am again staring and waiting for reasons why I could easily say I feel better dancing. Why the blackbirds look so beautiful when they fly. Why I am at this window when it often speaks another language I don't understand. Why I am who I am at this moment. And why I cannot say.
Wow.
Sometimes it's tough to stand up to very strong personalities. Okay, I have two sort of, I call them lovey-dovey. One ended up being part of a wedding gift. And it is called A Part of You. If I stand next to you, will I become as beautiful as a summer storm that can't determine the color it should be, the force it should have or not have, and so continue for days, a back and forth pace until the sun taps in as reminder to stop now, just stop. It's enough to see clearly the pink haze, the horizon in between the buildings, skyscrapers and houses, holding the laundry, trying to dry for the umpteenth time we forgot. We forgot to take it in, and so left it waving the same way I see your hand. When you reluctantly board the train, I cried for not seeing you. I am not going to see you for days, which will seem like neverness, that long, until I can stand next to you and breathe again the freshness of your smile again and grow more beautiful as part of you.
Wow. Beautiful.
Ooh, yes.
Thank you, Nick.
Always good to hear you, June. You're killing it. I love it. I love it.
I like your picture. That's amazing. We need that here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. You are my flower, fully open to life, in rare smiles, full of birds on the balcony, trying to sip our coffee before us. I hear you. The summer was good. The winter was better. I see you, even if I didn't say so at the time. I was busy admiring the nape of your neck and the wisp of hair that sits on your blue sweater, your favorite. You are my flower, no matter the day. It's yes. It is always yes, even if I don't say so at the time. The seasons change and spring brings interpretation of newly built windmills, windmills with sonnets inside that recite themselves, and garden paths that walk to the sea. It's me. I see you in various expressions, unedited. Our dailies worn thin by reruns, uncut versions, favorite scenes, so precious. And the fact that I want to match you in all things, to match you, linger with you, honor you, and our life as full of rare smiles, deliberately cherished. It's me. I hear you. I hear you even if I don't say so all the time. It's you who I carry with me. You are my flower.
Wow.
So,
How are you doing, June? Do you have one more piece? I'm thinking maybe we could allow some of the open micers to go and then have you close out.
I'm fine either way. I don't know if there's anyone who wants to read.
Okay, let me
So-
check in with you. I know you said everyone is
Did
a
you-
poet.
Yeah. And did you want to read?
I think Finn and Ryan wanted to read, and then let's see if that will open the floor up to everyone else, and then we'll
Okay.
have you close this out.
That's fine.
Awesome. All right. Ryan, are you ready to share your piece?
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Also, this has been such a joy. Yeah, June, it's awesome to get to hear you read. And also, I think this will be our first time reading together, so that feels like a huge honor.
That's true.
Yeah,
Very,
I gotta up my necklace game, it appears, but
I can help with that.
all right, let's talk soon. All right, I'll just read one little brief thing. Yeah, I guess other than June, I don't think I know anybody here, but yeah, I do a lot of work in translation, but it's pretty rare that I share stuff of my own writing. And so I'm trying to grow in that a little bit. And recently I've been in sort of a correspondence with another friend who's also going through, both of us are going through different types of chronic health stuff right now. And so this is one little snippet from that correspondence. Yeah. All right. Restless. Walking into the bees and their unfearing, from some other home a dog and song my skin today, these days, an edge underfoot, the yellow from the green barked thing, and again I'm thrumming, soft charge adrift through the me of me, 5 devices all sure-tongued say I'm wrong to feel wrong. When the good comes in pockets, in the aisles, colors swimming the packaged foodstuffs, a blur, see my sweat in the rear view, evening even, eventually, homeward, hollow wood on my chest and a pulse bob stopped mid-step, pet left stiff in the sun by the sidewalk, flies on its eyes, in its mouth, all around. The split light at the joint between walls, like low exposure, no need for adjustment, slow aperture, dazed capture. When I want nothing more than to fold into, turn away from, where vessel pounds pillow, the kitchen, dark home for tall green plastic glass, crease in my forehead, roach on the wall. Where sun stuff bleeds around the corner, cactus filling the dumpster, pig under a tart, the silver cans in their hands and the oil pooling, 2 flat tires and a mattress on the porch, walking to sit, playground mulch filtering apart in my hands. It's like sunburn, no sting though, just the way you know the skin's interfacing. 4 flights to the cubicles, 1 down to the mail. The skateboard slung along the window. I asked an unknown thing to help me. Hot milk in the microwave behind my eyes, a singed wire, yet 1 more bag empty. The blanket caught on my leg hairs, another vision hovering, soundless, a dream for a dream.
Wow. Woo.
Thank you.
A dream for a dream. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing.
Yeah.
Your journey.
Amazing.
Yes, yes.
Woo-hoo.
We not too long ago we had a panel about multiple sclerosis. Yeah, and I know you said you were going through some things chronically. I dropped our email and our website in the chat. Please reach out. We love hosting informative panels because I feel like we need to share that information in order to learn more about each other and ourselves. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
Finn, are you ready? Wow.
I am ready. Thanks so much. Oh my goodness, June. I have, over the 2 years of the pandemic, watched so many features online, and a few of them now live, and that is up there in the top 3. Seriously. I don't
Wow.
think anybody else would have been able to keep the energy consistent through an hour and keep us compelled with every story.
Fantastic.
Truly.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So I wanted to share a slightly older piece, but first a palette cleanser by way of haikus. So I call this more season haikus. Rain sates summer's thirst, sky reluctant to be gray, but understands grief. The first leaf turning knows the meaning of patience. Understand, death calls. Snow becomes blanket, shelters her slumbering charge. Here dwell dreams of sun. Tenacious poppies are the first to show their heads, teach us to rise up. And I just wanted to do a slightly older poem. I was a feature for Saturday Night Special, and their theme was fairy tales of the future. So I covered the fairy tales, and the other feature covered the future. So I called this spell broken. It's my messed up, warped Disney upbringing that no woman identifying should ever have to grow up with, because Disney messes you up. Spell broken.
Yep.
Indeed. Indeed. Oh my goodness. Descent down, down, down tower, poised in an excruciating slow motion spiral. No hair, color of corn silk to stop my fall. To stop realization, life holds no fairy tale. Suspicions abound in thick knot of veins, nonastrega, hands folded neatly in lap, gnarled branches. Body a sturdy dark tree trunk in forests where orphans lose themselves in search of candy, paying in innocence. Suspicions abound in days and bubbles floating above head, cinder maiden on her knees on the slick floor. Each day you can read in the dank tea leaf suds, dull, pale water colorless. I held out hope. No magic answered. I was exempt from the miracle. Oh my goodness, please don't spotlight me. Ah! Anxiety. Maybe the fishwives lulled us lazy, chopped our tails, plumed from our bodies, and we forgot ourselves, but thought we recalled this potion of wanting more, wanting everything, greedy for invincibility. I saw lip color the other day, the tint and shade in creeping vine roses, and my mind glamored. My mind, it glitched. Imagine the filter blood red smeared upon my lips. Prince Charming and his dutiful wife, mail ordered, made to order, single serve for your convenience. We would make a home together, and I am told that it would be splendid. Except Who was doing the storytelling? Who was spinning the lies and casting it on walls, sigils that we were safe inside the dream, except that whose dream? At whose expense? And all this while, we gouged out the sharp and too harsh corners, words left out of the enchantment, muttered under breath, patchwork falling on the floor, snip, 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 snip. Isn't this monster conjured in the scraps? Isn't this beastly girl, disgrace, a grotesque, mauled thing of beauty? My eyes fell once more on a bramble, and already I forgot the lesson. Last night, as I slumbered, breath suspended above my face, frost patterns built upon the air in the way that death and beauty dictate, my memories returned unbidden. They tiptoed their golden shoe deception to their whereabouts, trepidation of the danceless, the flightless. Last night, as I slumbered, I took root beneath the earth, covering my nubile corpse. I discovered every spell cast and hidden, every face presented good and masking evil, and every villain chastised in foolish youth, and how they all now wore me over their own skin, cloak, red, and fur of protection. Last night as I slumbered, I pricked my finger upon a spindle, believing myself awake. The pain confused me, the pain restored me, the pain dislodged tainted amples from my throat, truth rushing, bracing breath into my lungs, forcing the corset undone, causing the foot unshod.
Mm.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Won't the truth do it?
Wow. Wow. Mimi, would you like to share a poem?
I would love to share a poem with you all, but I do not have my tablet tonight.
Okay.
So I am not prepared to share a poem. I mean, I actually, you know what? That's a lie. So you know, as poets,
Yeah.
we be we 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 be writing. And I wrote a small something to my better half at about 4:40 a.m.
Mm.
Saturday. Um, and it was literally out of nowhere. It was like I was just up thinking.
We
And
do
so
this
it
too.
goes, I'm fucking tired of simply existing. You know, I thought life was all about living. Years of memories to tame the energies of strange emergencies. I see nothing getting different. And you know, I think my brain has been blocked. Likewise, my heart's been past shocked from broken promises and unkept secrets of tomorrow's is shot. And I keep waiting for strangers to love me. Keep waiting on loved ones to hug me. The pain I keep binding down does stupid flips to outbluff me, and I'm starting to think it's all a setup now. And Black people keep yelling, girl, don't shit on your crown. And I can't keep this bullshit lying down. It's only with my eyes up and open, my side rough and broken, that we gonna see change coming back around. What are we living for? Past tomorrow. And he texts back out, he was like, what are you? He's like, are you having a good night? He's like, you sound unblocked.
Ah,
It's like, no, you can't write anything.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Mimi.
No
Love
problem.
it. All right, before we have June close us out, would anyone else like to do a poem, a piece, a haiku? Would anyone else like to share? The floor is yours. No? Okay. What's my word of advice? Can't remember. I had a conversation the other day. I think I can remember. And someone told me like about some of their pain. And this person is a spiritual therapist. And it was just enlightening to me that she had pain and that she carried pain. And she told me, I'm just out here doing the work like everybody else. And that really resonated with me. And I felt like sharing that with you all because I know that we're all going through things, COVID, and there's just a lot going on in the world. But I don't, part of the reason why I do this is because I want other people to feel worthy. And I don't want them to feel like their pain is going to come with limitations, because that may be your superpower. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. That was placed on my heart because it was just like an aha moment. You know, somebody that's giving guidance like carries pain, and I was just kind of like, nah, like. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Stay encouraged. Thank you all for coming out. Follow us on YouTube. Visit our website. June, thank you for being an amazing feature. If you can, close us out.
Okay, I will. The last poem for tonight is called I Was Still Asleep Until You Woke Me. It was written for Imogen, a friend who was going through a very tough time. And I wanted her to know that I was not giving her just lip service or brushing her off. I really did understand what she was going through and had experienced some of the same. I'm interested in your reality with its probable causes, twists of hidden roads, the masks of strangers, the tongues of snakes wiping the dust from your sneakers. I was still asleep until you woke me with dark purple bruises on your throat to show me the circumstances that brought you to this place. They look familiar, unpleasant, the fruit of negative comforts hanging full, ripe from backyard trees. My sister says I am revolutionary to tell you these things. She said this on the way walking to a big kite sky that seemed as if it might break until the clouds and the colors appeared. I feel, I guess, we have self-taught lives, resurrected from the beatings and the crosses carried by us, then pounded into the ground with our own hammers. I am awake to your causes, my sister, and I await your resurrection. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yes. You couldn't have closed it out with a better piece. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming to support June, which in turn supports what we have going on. June, you really are a woman of superpowers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think so.
I do.
You better know it, okay? Thank you for being an amazing
Oh,
teacher.
thank you so much, Rayanne.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and
Thank
reading
June.
and sharing and being.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
June.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank
feel
you
like I
for
was at a
inviting
play.
me.
Thank you, June.
Thank you
Oh,
so much,
you're welcome,
June.
Mimi. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yes.
Take care, everyone. Good night.
All right. Bye-bye. Good night.
Night.
Amazing job, June.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
How are you doing? How are you feeling? Okay? Everything good?
Yes. This is our last open mic until August. We're
Okay.
gonna do it once a month until we kind of like figure things out. I'm trying to figure out StreamYard. But yeah, this is our last open mic until August, and then we're gonna do once a month until this year is over. Because we're transitioning into live events, and those require so much more energy from me.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
you know how it is, the transitions of life.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
I'm so glad you told me that. I did not know that, and that works so well for me because because the end of the year sprung up on me, and my child's the father of my child, I'm sorry, was supposed to take her for the summer. And we got into a spat today, you guys. And so I'm so sorry I was not on my A game. I was not. She's been chattering in my ear all day about how it's my fault. And I'm like, we're supposed to stick together. It's supposed to be me and you
Right.
against the world.
I feel
So
you.
it's just I just thank you guys for understanding. I've been like a ball of a ball of
You did an
So
amazing
Jude,
job.
It'll
so
pass.
Jude,
Nobody knows. It'll
I
pass.
really needed your words. I really needed your words tonight.
Oh, good.
They were much needed.
I'm glad.
Truly. Truly. I felt like I was at a play. Like, I think you need to turn this, what you did tonight, into a play. I would definitely come and
One
support.
woman show. One
Yes.
woman show. I would see it. I would pay good
I'll
money
have
to
to
see
give that some thought.
Yes.
Yes.
Truly.
So listen, the two of you have to keep in touch. In September, I probably will be I plan to be in LA. I think it's the weekend of the 24th.
Okay.
So maybe we can hook up.
Yeah. I think I might be having an event, a book launch that week. Because that's on the weekend, the 24th,
Yeah.
huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I think I may do a poetry event, a live event in
Yay.
person. Yes.
That would be
So
cool.
yes, yes.
would be
Um,
awesome.
I'm still trying to figure it out, but maybe we can have you feature live in person again.
Yeah,
I mean, not again, but yes.
that would be fabulous.
Yes, yes. So let's stay in contact via email. And as I figure things out, Mimi's making that face like, I'm coming.
I
You
want
coming,
to
Mimi? Mimi is coming out here in July.
come.
I'm
Wrong
with it, girl.
place.
I'm
Yes.
with it.
Yeah,
With
that
it,
sounds
okay?
perfect.
Yes. So yeah, let's stay in contact via email and figure more things out. And we can do it. Yeah, I would love
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
do that. Yeah.
Wherever, whatever we put the energy behind, it will come to fruition.
Yes, because it has to, like
Absolutely.
it
Yeah,
has to. Yeah, it's about that energy and being persistent. Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, maybe
That
I'll
is
see you
very
in
true.
September. It sounds like we're getting ready to put that energy together and
Oh,
just
yeah.
I'm a
maybe I'll see you in July.
10-mile away up in there.
Come through, girl. Come through. All right. Well, thank you for being an amazing feature.
Oh, you're
Mimi
welcome.
and June, I'm gonna talk to both of you all soon. Mimi, you're coming out here in July and you're hosting in August. Are you still gonna host in August?
Yes, of course. That's perfect. That's when she goes back to school, which it's like I don't even know what I'm gonna do. So actually, this is a godsend for me because it looks like I'll be summer camping all summer break.
Yes.
I'll be a guidance counselor and everything else. 'Cause
I hear you.
I'll have to find some more kids to entertain her. I got bad needs. I got bad needs. I can't do what I did today, y'all. Okay, I can't do it.
You got bad knees. You play too much.
Bad needs.
You gonna make it through, girl. You gonna make it through. Just don't crawl.
All right, you guys.
All right. Have a great night. I'll see
Have
you
a
all.
good
Thank
night.
you.
All right. Bye. Thank you, June.
Bye. My pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, what is it?